you should know, folks. If you just come into this on video,
I mean, I guess
yelling
I
at Anna because she
recognize her
doesn't know
from-
who Sally Kellerman is. Come on, Anna.
I never saw the film of MASH. It was before my time. She did just die, though.
She just died. Yeah, that's right. Just she died. Like I was shocked because she's still in the spank bank for me. So now I got to take her out. Yeah.
Well, you got to jerk off to a dead lady.
Or to either that or Sam Elliott.
She was in Back to School.
Yeah, she played the love interest of one. I get no respect. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well.
Dangerfield. Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Elliott. You know, I watched the other day. I hadn't seen it. Look, when I'm on the spinner or the rowing machine, all bets are off. I will watch anything. And I do mean anything. I watched Lifeguard, which I hadn't seen in years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Elliott, back in the 70s, around 75, 76 when it came out. And there's statutory rape in this thing. And it's just kind of brushed over. Like he has sex with this girl, she's 17. Mm-hmm. And then when she wants to have sex with him again, he goes, I don't think that's a good idea. We can get in trouble for that. You know, I'm like, you don't think it's a good idea? Oh, you thought it was a good idea yesterday. And by the way, this isn't any slight on my favorite guy, Sam Elliott. This is what we were doing in the 70s. And we thought that this was.
I mean, listen, Manhattan swept the 70s too. So,
yeah.
Mariel Hemingway and Woody Allen. So
that's right.
There was a ton of that. There was Little Darlings, which is, if you go back and watch Little Darlings, remember that swept the nation? That was super creepy.
Yeah.
Watch that. Now you'd be like, oh, I'm very uncomfortable. No wonder Christy McNichol's a mess.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of stuff like that, you know, it was just, that was the 70s. That's what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it would not pass muster for 1 second today. You know, we always talk about Blazing Saddles being the funniest movie of all time. You can never remake it. And yet we still play it and we still watch it. When I was in England, you know, I got in a conversation with someone, I won't say who, but they was like, yeah, I don't see why Roman Polanski can't come back to the States. And I'm like, are you kidding? Are you insane? It's like, you know, we got rid of a senator for pretending to touch a woman's breast. He got Me Too'd.
Are you talking about Al Franken?
Al Franken.
Yeah. But we all could agree Al Franken shouldn't have resigned over that. That was
he got Me Too'd over nothing.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't rape or do anything. It was you know, silly. Shouldn't have done it. But comics do what comics do. I don't care if you become a senator, they do what they do.
There's a lot of shit that we did back in the 90s that I pray does not get unearthed. And so
I'll give you
when I saw the Al Franken thing, I was like, oh, that.
You want me to give you one of my favorites that no one talks about? And Anna, if you think
I don't know. I feel like we should probably move on to fitness.
No, in a minute.
I'm trying to protect you from yourself right now.
Hey, I'm not the one that needs protecting. I think one Mr. Dan, what's his name? Oh God. Who played God, I said Dan, and I can't remember.
Lauren's mad at me now because he's also mad at me for not knowing who Sally Kellerman was.
He should be.
I just texted him, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's in his spank bank, too. It's there. It's in every guy's spank bank. Oh, what was his name? The guy who played Sammy on Cheers. Why can't I think of his name? Everyone's yelling.
Sam Malone?
Yeah, who played Sam Malone on Cheers?
Ted Danson?
Ted Danson. I was saying Dan. All right, Ted Danson.
Well, hold on. Now you want to yell at me too?
Hot Lips. Hot Lips. Of course. Of course.
I can't be everyone's personal Google all the time. He can hear you.
Okay.
What are you talking about Ted Danson for? And back to school. See, yeah, we get it, Lauren. You know all the people.
The triple Lindsay. The triple Lindy is what it was in Back to School.
Triple Lindy.
Yeah. Okay, Ted Danson. Back in the 90s, Anna, I want you to look this up. I want you to look it up. You're going to think I'm kidding. Went to an event.
No, I know this. I was alive during this.
Went to an event with Whoopi Goldberg in blackface.
Yeah, but Ted Danson was wearing the blackface.
Why is he not canceled? How does cancel culture
I think
work?
He was at the time. I think he got in a lot of trouble for it at the time.
Okay. People get in trouble, their career
then now he's
over
not.
with. They get in trouble there. But if you're Ted Danson, and by the way, I'm a Ted Danson fan.
People love Ted Danson. I don't know what to tell you. Ted Danson can do blackface 25 years ago and he still has a career.
He still has a career. And you could be Roman Polanski. Folks, if you don't know who this guy is, Roman
Polanski's different than what Ted Danson did, right?
Well, I'm talking cancel culture. They're not solid across the board. Roman Polanski, if you guys don't know who he is, he raped a 13-year-old girl anally.
Yeah.
Anally. Not that it's any better he raped a 13, by the way, served her drinks and drugs.
Yep. Drugged her.
And raped her in a jacuzzi. I want to say
it
was at Richmond Jigga's house. There were other celebrities there that night.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember who else was there, but there were other
celebrities. And Roman Polanski was also married to Sharon Tate.
Right, who died,
got murdered in the Manson. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. And he did that. It's just unbelievable. Your wife just
that's
died,
why he can't come home.
Yeah, but no, Hollywood's like, why can't he come back? Because he would be arrested.
Hollywood said that?
Oh, Hollywood has been calling for him to come back for years. As a matter of fact, I think Whoopi Goldberg was pretty wide open about that. The woman who told her boyfriend to go in blackface. The woman who says, didn't she say something about Jews like 2 weeks ago?
She got in trouble for something.
Yeah,
she's always, I feel like Whoopi Goldberg, though, to her credit, gets in trouble constantly. And she's still around. Good for her.
Yeah, she doesn't go away. Anyway, I'm done with that. I was on a rant and now I'm done with it. Keep living, Whoopi. We're happy for you. I bet you if Sam Elliott said something, he'd be in trouble. Right.
I have an article for you today. I know we're going to talk about KetoCon first, but can I just tease the title of the article?
Go on.
And we see a lot of articles and people send us articles, but this one was so juicy and replete with bullshit that I just had to bring it up on the show. And the title is 7 Carbs You Should Be Buying to Lower Cholesterol, according to a dietitian. According to a motherfucking dietitian.
I love it.
It's in the Eating Well magazine.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but let's get through KetoCon and tell people we have updates.
Oh, we have updates.
Anna and I decided, you know what? We both have a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot.
Things are happening.
And, as you know, we're already having trouble keeping up over at NSNG Foods and the whole deal. With supply chain breaks and all that crap that happened, we're catching up. And folks, we're catching up fast. We're doing triple.
You guys are doing it good because I just got a note today about my February order. And then that means I'm going to get my March order pretty soon. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, we set things up that if people are ordering, in the subscription thing, we don't start your next subscription until you've actually received the last one. We went back and we put infrastructure in there because there was nothing else we can do. And we love the fans of our products. I thank you guys because everyone is coming to the table and saying, look, we get it. You guys are doing your best and we are catching up.
By the way, I just want to say I've been learning from you guys about the supply chain stuff because right now we're out of marinara completely, the original marinara, and there is no horizon for the preferred tomato. I could make it with a different tomato that
no.
I won't make it with, and so I have basically pulled out what I can that will take care of my subscribers for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And they will get their marinara and nobody else will. But I had to learn that from you guys of like, oh crap, it's happening. There's a tomato shortage of the ones I want that I use in my product. And it's plenty of puttanesca and pink crema.
Which is my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the puttanesca is my favorite. And so, but it's very, how you say, anxiety producing when you're not able to deliver what you want to deliver, when you want to deliver it to the people who want to pay for it. So thank you everybody for being patient. Go ahead.
All right. Here's the deal. Part of my payment, and Anna's too, to show up at an event like KetoCon is they would give us a free booth. And these booths are very expensive. And all these people that go and they're hawking their wares and everything, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars just on having the space. And then it's thousands of dollars to get there. You got to ship all the stuff in. You got to set up. You got to do all this stuff. And
you need to have a pretty booth. You got to design the booth.
Yeah, if you guys look on my Instagram, we show what our booth looks like. We have this big top. We really have a thing. When we go places, and it costs a lot of money to do all that. And of course, fans and whatnot expect to try the product, even though most people have the product that's going to be there.
You get a sample
and get a sample, get a freebie, and we don't do the little. Here's a toothpick and a thing. Lick it off the tooth. No, my thing is, if I'm giving you a sample, I'm giving you a whole packet of ultra fat. I'm giving you a whole thing of this, a whole thing of that. And I looked around and said, you know what? I have such a busy schedule. Anna's schedule is even busier this summer. We're traveling around a lot, doing a lot of different events. As you guys know, I mentioned I'm going to this death camp, Camp Abilities up in New York. I'm going to literally get back to town and hop on a plane to get to KetoCon. And I was supposed to be there for the whole weekend. It's like, I can't do that. So we called Robin and we both made a decision. I'm saying I can't. Anna had her own scheduling issues also. Yeah. So we said, hey, Robin, here's what we propose. And she went for it. She loved it. She loved the idea.
Because we didn't want to miss it altogether. No, that would be a huge bummer.
Yeah. And people have already bought tickets based on the fact that we're going to be there, fans.
Yeah. Yep.
So what we're doing is I'm not setting up a booth. I gave her booth back and didn't say, hey, now you have to pay me more. Just here's your booth. You can sell it to someone else, make some money, please. Right. Anna did the same thing. Here's your booth. Here's your booth back. We're not asking for money for this. Just take it back. And we're going to show up. We're going to be there on Friday. And basically, it's going to be the Vinnie and Anna show. Because as it stands right now, on Friday, Anna will do a cooking demonstration. And I'm going to be a part of it. Now, my part is I'm going to stand there and taste the food.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they're going to let me give out samples. So you're going to have to stand up there as my audience volunteer and be the taste tester.
Yeah, I'm going to taste.
And by the way, I have to do this with a hot pad. That's all I get. There's no oven. There's no We're going to figure it out, do something cool, do something yummy. And then you got to bail and go over to the main stage.
Right before I got to go over to the main stage and start my talk.
That's right.
And as we know, since I don't plan anything, I don't need any preparation time. I just need enough time to walk from where you are to the main stage while they're saying, and here's Vinnie Tortorich.
Right.
Right. And then I'll just start doing what I do.
Right.
Still not quite sure how I do that. And I'm sure at some point I'm going to walk on stage and go, oh shit, there's nothing in my brain. That's going to happen to me one day.
No, I don't
Folks,
think so.
Maybe it will happen at KetoCon. So, and Robin has already asked me, would you play a little snippet of the movie? I'll do maybe 5 minutes of the new movie for people that haven't seen it. I'm not going to bore the audience by showing the whole movie because it's 90 minutes and I only get 45 minutes. But at some point, I'm going to warm up the audience and then Anna is going to run over from her thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a whole thing. And she said that it's even okay if we go longer than the normal thing because ours will meander on into lunch.
That's right.
Lunch hour. So Anna and I are going to do our dog and pony.
Yep.
And then It's not like we're going to just jump off the stage and get on the plane and go back. Oh, no. No. We're going to do a Q&A, a private Q&A. Ask me and Anna anything.
In a breakout room, right?
Yeah, they call them breakout rooms. So
that one only seats 300 people.
Yeah. So folks, when you get your ticket, I think, how do they get in there?
I think you add it onto your ticket. So if you're interested in that, make sure you add it onto your ticket, because it will. Last time you did it by yourself, I was not there. It was fire room capacity. Like they were packing them in. Yeah.
And they ended up having me do 2, which is weird because the first room was fire room capacity. The second room was half filled. It made me look like a loser. So
I hate that. You're like, oh, hey.
All right. Now there's 300 seats and we only have 150 people. So
move, you guys, if that happens, please move down front. By the way, that's an old comedy club thing. That's what they pack you at the front because it's way better for the people speaking, for the comics. If people are down in the front, because if people get nervous and they're like, I'm going to sit in the way back. I'm like, no. I need you. Come to me. Come sit with me.
Yeah. And in order to get you guys to do that, I'll do one of those. So a rabbi, a priest.
Yeah. We'll have you telling some jokes.
Yeah. I'll do a couple of those.
Here's the thing that Lauren Tarquinio suggested that we do. Here's the pitch.
Go on.
And I think this sounds like fun.
If people will do it, we can.
If people will do it, we're going to be the NSNG people will be the most fun people. And here's why.
Look, if Kurt Lapierre is showing up,
he's got to do this, right?
He's going to do this, of course.
I feel like Jackie Jones would definitely do this.
Jackie Jones would be into it.
Here's the deal. You know how you go to like Comic-Con or whatever, and people are dressed like their favorite comic book character, their video game character. Yeah, a Furby character. We want you guys to dress up either like bacon and eggs or an avocado, or even better, dress up like Vinnie or dress up like Anna. We're calling it Carbs play, not cosplay, Carbs play. And if whoever shows up with the best, we're going to send you a whole gift basket of our stuff. Whoever brings the best costume on Friday. That's what I want, is full on Carbs play. And we might even have you guys do some NSNG, no sugars, no grains. If somebody comes as a sugar granule, you're automatically going to be vilified, and you might win the prize, because that's a brave thing to do, to show up as a sugar molecule at KetoCon. Carbs play. Start tweeting us. What would be some? I'm already looking at trying to find foam hats of how they have cheese heads. Like what if they had steak or like a tomato or an avocado? I'm going to see if I can find hats. Because I want our NSNG people to fucking go full on Carbs play.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I want somebody to wear Vinnie's pink jeans. I want somebody to wear the conch shell. I want somebody to wear a bra and stuff it and be me.
Look, what was his name?
Do it.
What was Lonnie's brother's name?
Trey.
Trey Beauchamp. We were doing a meetup in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And he came dressed as me on Oprah with the black t-shirt, the tight black t-shirt and the pink jeans. He
dyed white jeans, bright pink, and it was amazing.
He pulled it off.
He did pull it off.
Yeah.
You have to commit. And here's the thing. We're going to support you in the commitment of it. And I'll be able to see an NSNG Carbs play person from across the convention hall. I'll be able to know who you are right away, because I'll be like, yes, this is what we're doing. Somebody dressed up like a giant piece of bacon, you win. You win. We love you. Do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Let's have fun. We're going to a convention. Let's lighten up. Let's have fun.
I want to see who does it.
I want to see who does it too.
I think so.
Bonus points for any face painting. Like if you do something cool on your face.
Yeah.
If you can paint the cover of Eat Happy onto your face, you win.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah. Well, if you can, look, folks, I'm going to be one of the judges. So all you got to do is take some.
I shouldn't say who wins yet.
And do NSNG across your face. I'll probably pick you. Just to be honest. If someone shows up with a conch shell hanging off of the zipper.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take.
That's a
much.
bold move.
It doesn't take much to win this competition.
Amazon has all kinds of fun costumes. Somebody
Anna,
we're going to do this.
You said something and it reminded me of something. You know how everything.
Play a song. Bill's going to get mad at you.
Yeah, Bill, I'm sorry, man. You're going to have to cut something out right in the middle of this podcast. You said bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
What do you think that reminded me of? Anything?
Bacon and eggs reminds me of peaches and herbs.
You said bacon and eggs in my head.
Oh
Peaches and
my
herbs.
God.
And I started singing Reunite right away.
By the way, I only knew that song because it was on the Reunite, but not the Reunite on Ice, Reunite on Ice, but it was they had that song on the Reunite commercial. Yes. So that's how I knew that song.
What was it like?
Peaches and herbs is a little peaches and herb is a little bit before time.
So good.
Yeah.
Reunite. Reunite doesn't sound like a liquor. It sounds like a drug. Ask your doctor.
He was all hopped up on Reunite. Reunite on Ice. You know what I'm saying?
No, ask your doctor if Reunite is right for you.
Reunite may cause death.
May cause lung problems, death.
So y'all, KetoCon, get your ticket. Use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE. You'll get 10% off your ticket. You got to get the thing for the whole weekend to get the discount code. Get the full weekend ticket. We're very excited to be there, and make sure you plan to get there by Friday morning. So if you got to spend the night, Thursday night, that's what it takes, folks.
Yeah.
We want to see you there in your Carbs Play outfit, your face painted. We want full on.
And by the way, there's a discount code at KetoCon. When you get to checkout, if you do the full 3 days and put in promo code Vinnie, you save 10%.
I literally just said that.
Oh, I was writing something down.
I know you were paying attention. That's why I was talking.
Yeah, it's like, no, I was writing down.
What else? You know what else? If you get the whole weekend at KetoCon, by the whole weekend, there is a discount code. And guess what it is? It's Vinnie, VINNIE. You get 10% off that ticket.
Anna, let's move on, folks. If you want to get 10% off at KetoCon, put in promo code Vinnie and get 10% off, but you need to do the whole weekend.
So I bet you're dying to know what the 7 carbs are that you should be buying to lower your cholesterol. I'm
really not, but let's, is this just going to piss me off? I'm just going to be, should I just start drinking now?
Yeah. Oh, you could. Yeah. Here's the thing that I want to say.
Okay.
The articles are getting, even though that's total clickbait title, but it is Eating Well magazine, which is a very popular food and health magazine in the country.
Sure.
The article titles are still super clickbaity, but the articles themselves are kind of partially acknowledging that we shouldn't have sugar or processed foods. So that's why it gets even more confusing. And you'll see what I'm talking about as I read it to you.
Go on. Let too much commentary. Let's get to it.
This is by Lauren Maneker, MSRDN LD.
All right.
That means registered dietitian.
Yeah.
More than 1/3 of all U.S. adults have high cholesterol. So if you are one of the nearly 94 million Americans experiencing this condition, know that you are not alone. For people who want to lower their... I figured that would trip you right up.
High cholesterol is a condition? People let the words flow over them and they never listen. We're calling, okay, guess what your brain needs to function properly?
Cholesterol.
Guess what every cell in your body uses to stay healthy?
Cholesterol.
Guess what high cholesterol is being considered by this person writing this article?
Dangerous.
A condition. Go on, Anna.
Also, what's the precursor to every hormone your body ever makes?
Cholesterol.
Yeah, that's right. A+. Okay. For people who want to lower their cholesterol, some good news is that there are several foods that can help with this goal, carbs included. Because, Vinnie, you know everybody wants to be able to include the carbs.
Yeah, because God forbid you don't get your fucking carbs. But go on.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, Vinny, but they definitely don't want to eat the carbs. So they want to make sure they have a diet where they cut out the carbs, but they also get to eat the carbs. So.
Well, look, it's like years and years and years ago when, the beginning of the Vinnie Tortorich's No Sugars, No Grains women's group.
Right.
They decided that one woman started this thing where she was like, well, I need help. My doctor says I need healthy carbs. So I'm going to strategically start eating grains and, have, a bite of a cookie and this and the whole thing. And it's like, I went in the group and said, wait, your doctor says you can. Oh yeah. My doctor insists I have carbs. It's like, great. Stay away from the grains, stay away from the sugar, stay away from all of the cookies and everything else that you're thinking about eating, and go get yourself some broccoli. No, she didn't want to hear that. That's a carb. If your doctor says you need to eat these healthy carbs, what's wrong with broccoli? What's wrong with, I don't know, tomatoes? What's wrong with asparagus? Was any of that, was that broken? No, you just wanted to eat junk. So don't come around here with my doctor says. Go on, Anna.
You bringing that up, I saw today on Instagram a woman that I follow who I really like. She had gotten down to, and this is one woman, I'm not saying this is like the new anything. She had gotten down to a very thin weight, like an uncomfortably thin weight for her. Mm-hmm. And she had basically gotten down to OMAD carnivore. So she was having one meal a day was a carnivore. And she had gotten so thin that she had stopped, her cycle had stopped. And she was, I think, trying to get pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant, and her cycle had stopped. And everyone was telling her, well, then you just got to add the carbs. You got to add carbs back in. Your cycle stopped because you had, and she said, hold on. And she basically said, I'm going to eat at least 2 meals a day, and I'm going to add in like leafy greens and cruciferous. And her period came back within 2 weeks. And I thought that was really interesting. And she goes, it wasn't like, I was like, it wasn't like she was downing potatoes and stuff. She just ate more food. Her body was basically starving and needed to eat more food. And if you're a woman and your body's starving, your period's one of the first things that will shut down because it's like, we don't need this right now. We're not going to bleed anytime soon.
Anna, let me add to this. Even if she had not eaten the cruciferous vegetables, I forgot how to speak. If she had just done more fat, more meat,
more food, she just needed to eat.
She just needed to eat.
And that's what she said. And she goes, and for those of you who think that I got my period back because I added back in carbs, that is not the case. I ate more food. So I just wanted, that's a one person, that's her journey. But I just thought that was very illuminating and nice to see somebody who wasn't going like, I had 4 sweet potatoes a day and then I got my period back. I don't know. Maybe if you have to eat 4 sweet potatoes a day and you get your period back, good for you. But I just wanted to illustrate that point.
Anna, I want to go back. We were talking about Sam Elliott and that movie, where he rapes a 17-year-old girl, and it's just, it's not even frowned upon. We used to live in a world where women didn't even mention the word period. It was
it was very distasteful to speak of it.
I have the curse, or it's that time of the month. It was
my Aunt Flo came to visit.
Yeah,
Aunt Rose.
Yeah, there was all kinds of, like, I'll never forget when we turned like 13 in school, and all of a sudden the girls were allowed to go to the bathroom whenever they wanted.
Right.
It's like, why can't the boys do it? It's like, shut up, just shut up. It's like, but they get to go whenever they want.
You grew up around all boys, so you didn't understand.
Yeah, I wasn't like, and then one day I went, oh, okay.
Oh, there's a lot going on down there.
Of course, I didn't figure it out until I was 38, but yeah, eventually I got around to it. But the bottom line is,
it's all right. I didn't figure it out until I was 38 too.
We didn't like, it wasn't even talked about. Now people go online and go, got a period today. Look at my period. Oh my God, didn't have a period. We live in bizarro world now.
How is that bizarro to talk about periods?
Well, it's like, we frowned upon, statutory rape and didn't talk about periods. Now,
I see what you're saying. You're saying it's reversed.
Yeah, I
was like, I think it's a good thing to talk about periods because people know.
I'm glad it's reversed, but a little less period talk would help.
See, I disagree.
Yeah,
I don't think anything I said was graphic.
No, you didn't. I'm just talking about how the world changed. This woman is out there telling the whole world, "Oh, I stopped my period." And that was never talked about.
I know, but I'm glad she did, because people are always saying, like, when stuff is going wrong, you have to add more carbs in as women. You have to cycle on and off we're told that constantly. We get so many mixed messages.
Right.
And so I'm glad that she did, because I was like, oh, I thought that was going to be one of those posts where it's like, then I added back in quinoa and I got my cycle, and now I'm the mother of 15 children.
Yeah, I became, I don't know.
And now I'm a hippie earth mother.
Living in Utah.
I feed my children the quinoa too, and their hair is like fine corn silk.
We moved to Ashland, Oregon.
We live in Ashland, Oregon, and we will all perform in the Summer Stock Festival together as a family.
Yeah. We met
Sing by the fireside, and we iron our clothes with wood chips.
Anna, go on. Let's get to this, because I'm already hating this.
For people who want to lower their cholesterol, carbs included, while carbohydrates have been vilified recently, thanks to diets like keto, Atkins, and the South Beach diet. You know that brand new diet called the South Beach diet, Vinnie? There are several healthy carbs that are worth a spot on your plate. Not to mention, including carbs in an overall heart-healthy diet can actually help your body experience lower cholesterol levels naturally. While it is true that some carbs are not the best choice when trying to support healthy cholesterol levels, think cookies, candies, and other sweet treats, there are other carb-rich foods that are packed with important nutrients that may help reduce LDL bad cholesterol, increase HDL good cholesterol, and support overall heart health.
All right.
Shall I move on?
Go on.
Types of carbs in foods. This is where it gets. This is the educational portion of our show, according to this lady. Most carbohydrates fall into two categories: whole food-based carbs, commonly called complex carbohydrates, and refined carbs, often referred to as simple carbohydrates, though not all refined carbs are simple carbs. Whole food-based carbs are typically free of added sugar, are chock full of important nutrients, and contain more fiber than most simple carbs. Whole grains, many fruits, starchy vegetables, and beans/legumes fall into the whole food-based carb category. On the other hand,
Stop. From the beginning of time that I can remember, let's go back to the early 80s when I started doing all this.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about good carbs and bad carbs. And dietitians have always said, hey, look, we can agree. Simple carbs. They used to call them simple and complex.
By the way, I thought I muted myself just now, and I sniffed into the mic. Go ahead. That was so stupid.
This show will never end. I swear to God.
Just talk about the 80s. We love the 80s.
Okay. Back when Sam Elliott was... well,
probably Sam Shepard too, let's be honest.
Yeah, let's go. They called them simple carbs and they called them complex carbs. And every dietitian out there is like, yeah, simple carbs, they're not bad for you, but they call them hollow calories. Those are hollow calories. But complex carbs, as this woman just called it, chock full of healthy nutrients. Now, let me guarantee you, Anna, I've never seen this article, and I'm going to have you read past this in a minute. I guarantee you she never says what that chock full of healthy nutrients will be. They just throw that term out there, right? And then they don't say what they are. Because
no, it's just literally hitching the wagon to the fiber argument. It contains more fiber.
No.
But that's what she said.
That is not what you just read. Go back and read what you just read.
Whole food-based carbs are typically free of added sugar, are chock full of important nutrients, and contain more fiber.
Okay, chock full of important nutrients, but they don't say
never
tell you what those nutrients are.
Because they don't know, because there are none.
I could tell you it's riboflavin, which you could get from everything else, and a couple of things like that, but it's nothing important. It's a dead
Like I said, riboflavin. It's riboflavin.
Okay, so let me go on. The simple carb, I can almost make an argument.
I don't even need to read this. You know what the simple carb is.
I can make an argument that the simple carb in the carb world is healthier than the complex carb. Want me to continue, Anna?
Yes, please do.
Okay. A simple carb is straight sugar, right? So think of anything that's just sugar, chocolate bar, something like that, just sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is it causes a glucose spike. It goes up really high and it comes down really fast, right? It's
like the sugar crash that kids have when they have the simple carb.
Yeah, the birthday sugar crash. Now, you sit there and go, well, geez, Vinnie, that doesn't sound good. It's not. But you see what happens with sugar, the simple carb, there's nothing, the stomach sends it right to the liver. There's a spike. The insulin comes down and it covers it and it pushes it down even further than it was before. And you call that the spike and the crash. Now, why would you say, well, Vinnie, sugar, man, that's healthier than a piece of bread? Yes. Because if you ate a piece of bread or pasta, which in Italian means paste, right? You have that kind of stuff. And what happens? You have a glycogen load. Your spike goes up, the sugar spike goes up, and it stays up. And it can stay up for an hour, 2 hours. Now, a dietitian will tell you, because I know what they're going to tell you, your stomach releases these complex carbohydrates very slowly, and your liver can handle it, and everything is fine. And you get all these, as Anna put it from that article, important nutrients and fiber. As a matter of fact, the fiber is the reason that is keeping it up. Is it just keeps going into your liver, and the insulin has to keep pouring on top of it because it doesn't go away, right? So I can make an argument, and I could probably get a lot of doctors to agree with me, that a spike goes up and comes down really fast. You release some insulin, it's over with. A load that you get from pasta, grains, waffles, quinoa, oatmeal, brown rice, all of that sends it up. It keeps it up for a long time, and your body has to work, your pituitary has to work overtime, releasing all of this insulin to try to cover that. Not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. Amen. Go on, Anna.
Amen, brother. Well, we know what the refined carbs are. What you were just talking about: candies, pretzels, white bread, drinks with added sugars, cookies. So then she says this sentence: carbohydrates give your body the fuel it needs to make energy. Care to comment?
That's a true statement. It's a true statement. But let me continue. If you are a sugar burner all the time, if that's all you're doing, it's the simplest, your body will always take the easy way out. If you give it that simple carb all the time, that's what it will live on. If you cut them out and you're not having them all the time, and your body starts taking the butyrate and turning the fat into a ketone body, and it starts using that, the brain prefers it. Every cell in your body prefers it. Your body will start using its own fat to fuel itself. That's the healthier way to do it. Now, to say that sugar doesn't fuel your body, it will. It will fuel your body. You ask any cyclist, a long distance runner, ask Paula Radcliffe. I remembered her name this time. If you take sugar, if you're on the sugar train, if I got on my bike and I was a sugar addict, right? I know this because I used to ride the bike when I was living on carbohydrates. If I ate a big carbohydrate meal that morning, meaning pasta or rice or something like that, I was able to go 90 minutes. Now, as most people know, I would spend 12 to 15 hours or even longer on a Saturday on a bike. I knew that right at around 80, 85 minutes, I would start feeling a little lightheaded, like I needed something. And then I would go on to the sugar train, and I was on that sugar train for the rest of the day. Every 20 minutes, it took somewhere around 100 calories of sugar, usually something like goo or one of those type of products, a shot block, or back in the day, power bars, or back in the day, bananas, or what have you. You had to have a lot of that stuff. You had to keep the sugar going because you were like a freight train going down the track. back in the days when they had to keep shoveling coal in, the steam engines, you had to keep shoveling the coal in, right? And if you stopped shoveling the coal, you couldn't burn that fire and you couldn't heat that boiler and that steam train would stop. Same thing would happen on a bike. I've bonked more times than anyone can ever imagine. I know how this works, folks. I've been there. I was there for years. Once you become a fat burner, you got all the supply. People do it all the time. I did it. Yesterday. I got on my rowing machine. I woke up in the morning. The last thing I ate was 7 o'clock the night before. I got on it at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's what, 15 hours?
So you had coffee though.
I had coffee.
Because you're not an animal.
Oh God, no. I had like 2 or 3 coffees.
Okay, thank you.
I got on at 10 o'clock and I was on it for over 2 hours. You think I'm kidding? I know people think I'm kidding.
I believe you.
And you know what, Anna? Let me see. I took a picture because I sent it to Coddington to send it over to Dan. Tell me if you can see this in the camera. Can you see that? You can't.
It looks a little blown out. Oh, yeah, there it is, 2:12.
Yeah, that's the time. But right above that, it says 2 hours and 10 minutes on top.
Oh.
Let me see if I can do that. Anna, I will send this to you, and then you can put it up on your screen. Maybe your screen will allow you to do it. I want people to know I'm not making this stuff up. Here we go. 2 hours and 10 minutes. I averaged 212 per 500 meters. I did just over 30,000 meters. My heart rate was averaging 125.
Yeah.
You have it there, right?
I recognize that Concept 2 screen.
Yeah, that's the PM5. So you can hold it up in the camera so that people can see it, right? Maybe it'll work in your camera. There it is. There it is. I just sent that there. Okay, Anna, no carbs.
You
no
didn't
fat.
die? You're not having carbohydrates for energy?
When I started, I was over 15 hours not eating. And then I did that for 2 hours. And I probably didn't eat for an hour or two after that. Okay, how am I able to do that? You're looking at that number, Anna. You're looking right at that number. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Anyone knows that if you're averaging 212, no, my average for that time was 207. You see it there? 207.2?
Yep.
That was my overall average. So apparently when I was stopping the machine, it went to 212. So I was averaging 207 for 2 hours and 10 minutes and 11 seconds.
Yeah.
On no food.
Mm-mm.
From the night before.
And you didn't die.
And by the way, can't make this stuff up.
Right.
Can't make it up. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm almost a 60-year-old man. I'm not special. My body's no different than anyone else. Right. So I don't know why everyone's yelling, you need these healthy carbs.
Well, that's why I wanted to read that one sentence and let you have a word.
Thank you. Move on.
And while some research suggests that eating a low carb diet may have cholesterol lowering benefits, especially when compared with the effects of a low fat diet, you'll be hard pressed to find science suggesting that people who want to reduce their cholesterol levels should go 100% carb free. So she actually is saying, oh, look, there's actual benefits to going low carb, but not 100% low carb. Well, no one's saying go 100%. You can if you want.
But
this is what I'm saying is like this is where it gets more pernicious to me because it's all so far it's just been the same bullshit we've heard for 30 years. Right. And then she acknowledges that there actually are some benefits to going on a low carb diet. And we see that, what is it called when it's like we're not scientists. So we see it in like a casual, like an informal way in the groups when people talk about, oh, my cholesterol went down, my triglycerides went down, my blood pressure went down, things like that. Anecdotally, we see it anecdotally in the groups. Right. And that's all fine. So, her making that statement supports what I've witnessed over the years. I'm sure what you've witnessed over the years. Yeah. Look. But then she has to end it with a little jab of like, but who's going to go 100% carb free? That's ridiculous. So. Yeah, it makes no sense. But so let me say too, and I'm sure we're going to go into this at a later time on a later show when we have more information to share. But let me tell you that my family members, and you know this, Vinnie, because we talked about it off the air. So we talk about conflicting information. So my family member who's dealing with a cancer diagnosis is at a wonderful place for treatment. And even they are saying, yeah, we know the ketogenic diet works as a good diet for cancer. We know that it works. However, we think there's a problem with compliance. And I'm literally reading this almost verbatim what the doctor said. We know that there's going to be a problem with compliance. It's too difficult to do. For instance, what are you supposed to do when you go out to dinner with friends? You should try a plant-based diet instead. So there's like 10 things wrong with that statement.
At least, because hey, we don't want you to do this diet, but let's give you a more restrictive diet called veganism. Yeah.
But it also too, who's going out to dinner with friends when they're having chemo and radiation?
You guy,
you had cancer. Did you go out to dinner with friends when you had chemo and radiation and struggled with finding something to eat? Was that your issue?
No, I was stuck in the house trying to stand up most days.
There we go.
Like standing up. Like I remember one day walking outside and it was such nice weather. It was summertime and a breeze was blowing. I was in Benedict Canyon, to let you know. That's where Patty's house was.
That's a pretty place. Very pretty.
And the mailbox is, really close to the front door. Mm-hmm. And I went, okay. I made it to this front door and I opened the door and I could feel that air coming out. I went, I'm going to make it to that mailbox. I might not make it back in, but
you'll make it there.
I'm going to that mailbox. It was about 10 steps.
Right.
And I willed myself to. That's what happens sometimes with chemo.
So when a doctor says, don't do that thing that we know works because it's going to be too much of a struggle for compliance. What are you going to do when you go out to dinner with friends? Like, it's just so loaded because I'm like, wait, what? And also too, listen, I have no doubt that it's hard to comply with anything when you're actually under chemo and radiation. Absolutely. We've talked about that with people on the show who've come on saying, I just need to get calories on the person. And you always say, get calories on the person. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like to be able to say that stuff, and we know it works, but instead, why don't you try an even more restrictive diet? And by the way, I've been doing NSNG for 10 years. I have never gone hungry. I have gone out to eat a bajillion times and I've always found something to eat.
Yeah.
It's not a struggle. It's not a problem. You just deal with it. Anyway, so it's that sort of misinformation. And then it's coming from a doctor. So then it becomes very confusing. It's a doctor saying the things.
I've been talking to that family member.
Yes.
And, whenever he wants what he wants, and I won't get into it.
No, I know. We'll talk about it later. But let's see what happens.
He'll say, well, the top doctors at this top hospital is saying do this. And what I want to say to him is, well, a top doctor at I can say Dr. Miller over at Cedar Sinai said that, told me that I should be eating no sugar, no grains. Right. So your top doctor is saying you can't comply. My doctor is saying, hey, in a perfect world, you should never eat sugar again. I looked around and went, sounds good to me.
Right.
Because the one thing I hated was pumping chemicals into my body. A guy who's never smoked a joint, a guy who's fucking, like the biggest thing I do is have scotch once a week. That's like me putting chemicals in my body.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're putting a chemical in my body that can kill me. It's strong enough to kill me and or kill the cancer.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't want to hear about it. If you tell me that this is what I have to do, this is what I'm doing. Bottom line.
So back to the article, and I'm sure we'll give a lot of updates going forward. When carbohydrates are included in a cholesterol-lowering diet, the quality of the carbs plays a crucial role. Opting for foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, there it is, while limiting or avoiding sugar-sweetened beverages, refined cereals, and added sugars appears to result in better outcomes for cholesterol levels. So now, 7 carbs you should be buying to lower cholesterol. And some, I'll be honest with you, some were a surprise.
Okay.
I didn't see this one coming. Number 1. Do you want to guess what number 1 is? You'll
7?
never guess.
All right. So
You'll never guess.
If I'll never guess, so that means it's not going to be something like oatmeal. These are carbs I should be buying.
This is the number one carb you should be buying to lower your cholesterol, according to this article. Think grandma carbs. Maybe even great grandma carbs.
Cream of wheat.
It's not a grain.
Wheat is not a grain?
No. The thing she says is not a grain.
Oh, it's not a grain. So it's a sugar? Oh.
I'll tell you.
This is number one. No, it's going to be some kind of syrup like Aunt Jemima?
No.
Go on.
Prunes. I'm not kidding. I'm not doing a goof. She says prunes. Prunes.
All right.
Prunes.
The new, I'm pretty sure Tallulah is one of the smartest women I know.
Prunes.
My stepdaughter is one of the smartest women I know. If I say to Tallulah, do you know what a prune is? She'll probably say, yes, I do know. And what fruit does that come from? I don't know.
It's a plum,
guarantee.
right? A prune is a plum?
It comes from a plum. Yeah, it's a plum that
okay. Also, too, I've never eaten a prune to my knowledge.
I've
never had prune juice to my knowledge because I think I was just at the age group where we stopped doing that. Where my grandmother couldn't exert that level of influence, but they talked about it. No, if someone was constipated, they have supposed to have prune juice.
Yeah, it's a syrup. It's just straight sugar, and it would make you crap your pants.
I think the fiber in it would make you fart a lot too, and then you crap your pants.
Anna, prunes are delicious, but it's nothing but sugar. It's a big sugar bomb in your mouth.
I just fucking cracked up when I saw the first thing was prunes.
Oh, wait, let me ask you this. You've had a date, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Prunes is like a more squishy date.
Oh, okay. Is it as sweet as a date?
Maybe even sweeter.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've never tried it. I always would think a prune would be bitter for some reason.
Oh God, no. No, it's like, if
you're
a sugar addict, you'll put it in your mouth and go, I can't swallow it. It's too sweet. It's like, wait, I'm thinking about a prune right now. My teeth are hurting.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah. Well, according to this lady, improved antioxidant capacity and reduced inflammation were seen in subjects who ate 5 to 6 prunes every day for 6 months when compared to those who did not eat prunes daily. That's a whole other thing. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Hang on. 5 to 6 prunes a day. So 5 to 6 prunes
a day, every day. Ooh.
Okay.
Prunes.
All right, move on. Let's go to number 2.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Number 2, your oats. There's your oats.
All right. So did she give a recommendation as to how many oats?
In one meta-analysis, don't know what the F that is, evaluating 28 studies. Oh, I see. It's a meta-analysis evaluating other studies. Results suggest that adding at least 3 grams of oat beta-glucans per day may reduce LDL cholesterol by 10 milligrams.
So 3 grams of oats, Anna?
I'm sorry, oat beta-glucans? Because you know how the average American knows exactly what an oat beta-glucan is.
I know what a glucan is, but
well, this is an oat beta-glucan. Get up to speed, Vinnie.
Okay, but what's the food?
Put it in your diet, or else you're going to have high LDL.
Oats. I need to know. These are 7 foods. So what's the second food?
I just told you, oat beta-glucans.
Okay, look it up. I need to know.
Figure it out.
I need to know because this is an educational podcast.
Oat products.
Oat beta-glucan. Here it comes. The audience wants to know. Oh, of course, you can buy it.
I'm looking at the study, oat beta-glucan.
Oat beta-glucan.
I guess it's just oatmeal. Why didn't she just say oatmeal?
Okay, so 3 ounces of
bran powder? Is it bran powder?
I'm looking at it. Like a lot of people are selling it.
So that's not oats. That's a supplement. So this article is confusing because she's saying you should have oatmeal, but then she's talking about oat beta-glucans is the thing that actually improved it, which is a supplement.
Let me just read something.
It looks like psyllium husk.
Oat beta-glucans. Oat bran is produced by removing the starchy content of the grain. It's rich in dietary fiber, especially in soluble fiber. So basically, this is just fiber.
Yeah, that's what I said. It looks like psyllium husk.
It's psyllium husk. That's what it
but
is.
for oats.
Yeah. So 3 ounces of that. So you got 5 to 6 prunes.
But there's a picture of oatmeal, and she says oats, and then she cites this study of oat beta glucans.
So 3 ounces of oat.
By the way, it seems like a lot because it looked like it's sold in capsules. So that's 3 ounces. You'd have to take a lot of capsules.
All right. So now we got, what's number 3, Anna?
Potatoes.
All right. How much potato are we supposed to have? Because, by the way, folks, let me give a little thing about potatoes here. We have a glycemic index that goes between 0, which is 0 sugar whatsoever, and 100. 100 is pure sugar. Okay. One of the few foods that come in higher than pure sugar on the scale is a white potato, which comes in as high as 105. It's more sugar than sugar.
Okay. Well, we have a solution here for you in this article.
Go on.
While all potatoes can fit into a cholesterol lowering diet, purple potatoes may offer an additional cholesterol lowering benefit thanks to the anthocyanin polyphenols they contain. This is a type of antioxidant that is responsible for giving these potatoes their gorgeous purple hue.
Okay, so how much potato should we have per day?
She didn't say an amount, but she said try some German style purple potato salad for a fun way to try these unique tubers.
Okay, so we'll just put potato.
Choose those that are baked, boiled, or air fried instead of deep frying.
See, she gave us a prescription on prunes and she gave us a prescription on oat bran. But potatoes, I guess we can have enough. Okay. All right.
4
4
apples.
Okay.
It says result of one study evaluating people with mildly elevated cholesterol shows that the simple act of eating 2 apples every day.
True.
Oh my God. Okay. Resulted in reduced serum total and LDL cholesterol compared to people who
By the way,
eat a regular dose of this crunchy fruit.
1 apple a day will keep the doctor away. You eat 2 of these, you'll start farting. You'll get your girlfriend to go away. All right, number 5.
Well, number 5 will definitely get your girlfriend to go away because it's beans.
Okay. And what does this fabulous person have to say about beans, Anna?
In fact, a 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition concluded that eating 1 cup of canned beans every day for 4 weeks. That's my idea of hell. 1 cup of canned beans every day for 4 weeks.
How many ounces is a cup?
8.
8. So 8 ounces of beans. Okay. Number 6.
Berries.
Okay. Love me some berries.
I know. We do like berries.
I like Ken Berry.
We like Ken Berry.
Good guy.
There's no prescription for berries in here. And then number 7, it ends on a high note.
But Anna,
and by that I mean your head's gonna pop off.
Wait, hang on. Let's give berries. Let's say you're gonna have a few berries after dinner. 4 ounces, 5 ounces. What's the amount?
It doesn't say.
But let's give it something. Let's give it a value. Let's say 5 ounces.
By now, we should have 0 cholesterol after eating all of these cholesterol-friendly carbohydrates.
Right. Okay, what's number 7, Anna?
Okay, you ready? You ready? Oh, man. I don't even want to say it. I don't want to say it because you're just going to end this podcast angry.
Quinoa. Is it quinoa?
Sadly, it's not quinoa. It's even better. It's 100% orange juice.
How much?
Did you hear his voice crack just there? How much?
Orange juice. So what's for breakfast?
Beverage choices matter just as much as food choices when aiming to achieve healthy cholesterol levels. If you want to drink something other than water, an occasional glass of 100% orange juice is a viable option to support your health goals, especially compared to sugar-sweetened beverages. According to research published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, drinking any carbonated beverage with added sugar, as well as punch, lemonade, and other non-carbonated fruit drinks, was linked to lower HDL cholesterol. What? However, the lipid profiles were not significantly affected by fruit juice consumption. Past observational data shows that adults who drank orange juice had a significantly lower total and LDL cholesterol levels, with males having a 23% reduced risk for low HDL levels compared to non-OJ drinkers. Other more recent research supports that long-term orange juice drinkers tend to have lowered levels of total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol compared to non-OJ drinkers. But she does not give an amount, but let me see if I can click through the study. This is from 2020. Oh. This study began in 1948 and then in 1972 and then 2002. What is happening? I can't read this whole thing right now. It's too much. I can't. It's insane. I don't know how much they want you to drink of the orange juice.
She said a glass. So a glass constitutes 8 ounces.
8 ounces. Okay.
All right. So Anna, let me go through this list.
Okay, great. I'm looking forward to it.
Folks, this is according to this dietitian. This is what you should have, not tomorrow, but every day. 5 to 6 prunes, at least 3 ounces of fiber, potatoes, all the potatoes you want, because she didn't give a prescription.
I mean, purple ones. She said purple potatoes.
Okay, purple potatoes. You should have at least 2 apples. You should have 8 ounces of beans. We gave berries a prescription. We said 5 ounces, and you should have OJ. And according to Nicole Brown Simpson's sister, OJ kills.
That's the truth.
OJ kills. Anna, if I tried to follow this tomorrow, I'm pretty sure I would go into a coma. Like if I tried to do this for one day, I'm pretty sure I would end up in the hospital. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I'm so not used to just looking at that. I couldn't do it. I'd go into a coma.
I think my stomach would get very upset.
Yeah.
In addition to the rest of my endocrine system.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's it. That was a fun podcast. Let's go home. Bye.
Okay. So Anna Vocino has Eat Happy Kitchen. She's got some herbs coming out, not peaches and herb, just herbs coming out at Eat Happy Kitchen. So go check that out. She also has, if you want to get yourself some pink crema, some puttanesca, she's got that. If you are a big time fan and you're buying the stuff all the time, you may or may not get the original sauce.
If you're a subscriber, you'll get your OG marinara. But until we can make more, we just got the puttanesca and the pink crema.
Yeah.
God, order spices. This is it's been 1.5 years in the making. We're making these gorgeous organic spices with no junk in them. I had to fight a bitch several times to make it happen the way I wanted it to happen. So
I had to cut a bitch for Anna.
Oh my God. It was nasty.
So, folks, go do that. Also, go to purevitaminclub.com, not purevitaminclub.com. What am I talking about? Go to Amazon.com. Go to VinnieTortorich.com before you go to Amazon. Click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. We also have the Superfan page. Go check that out. Like we said, we will be at KetoCon on that first day, and we will rule the show. I'm going to cut this off because I got a little thing I want to do here at the end, Anna.